Hey, how's it going? Today we're going to go over how to draw a skeleton with Scribbles. Just kind of Scribbles. I'm sure you've seen those cool fancy stuff on the internet. I'm going to really show you how to do it. Um, and that's pretty much it. This is for beginners, despite the subject matter. I mean, how hard this might appear. But yeah, I'm going to be using this regular printing paper and this. This is a Pigma Graphic 1. You don't have to use this. You can use anything you want. Preferably ink, though, because with ink, you just kind of touch it, especially for this method. Be a good idea. That is it. So the first thing I'm going to think about is I'm going to harken back to the structure of a skull. And I'm going to have that structure in my mind as I'm doing this. So remember, a couple of things. I've said this in a couple of lessons, but I'm going to say it again. I even said it recently. What I want you to do is I want you to remember, I think about the skull structurally as very simple first. Circle for like the brain case and everything, front of the face here. Extending down, out for the jaw, and up. Okay, let's say it's 3/4, right? Let's say this is the center of the head. And that sticks out a little bit. I mean, you can kind of, you can kind of break it down to thirds, but I like to just stick it out generally that much, just a bit more. You can eyeball it very easily. You can change this up. And what I do is I, find, the eye, the nose, and the kind of under jaw here. And you can break that into thirds as well. So if you find the top right here, let's say top of the skull where it starts turning upwards, so the front, let's say you have the front of the skull there, you mark it, which is just kind of like very high up on the forehead, over here where it starts turning, if that makes any sense, right there. And then between here and break this up into thirds. So that is like here and here, at least from what I can see. So you break that up into thirds. I usually draw like marshmallow shapes for the eyes, triangular shape for the nose. This is not the thing, I'm just kind of going over what's in my head. Pulling down here for the mouth in this area, and obviously the teeth, and then some, right? I can even like chop the shape out of here for the jaw. But that's kind of the general structure. Obviously, I went over that very quick because I've gone over it in many, many other lessons. Go check those out. But I just kind of went over generally that's the proportion, right? Circle for the skull. I go over the front of the face. I divide into thirds, and then the top of the brow is the top of the the brow, the bone, brow bone. And then over here is like the bottom of the nose, or it's going to reach to the bottom of the nose usually. He doesn't have a nose, that's why it doesn't really reach. And then the mouth is somewhere in the middle here, and the jaws, on this side. What I do is I think of this structure. The thing is, I've memorized this structure so much, that's what I have in my head as I'm doing this. So the idea is I'm going to put this down, and I'm scribbling, right? I'm just scribbling around. But I already have this structure in my head. I already have that structure I showed you. And I am just trying to start representing that there in that structure, right? And I'm just kind of going loose. I'm keeping it very, very light in my hand, like very light. I'm putting, see how far back I'm holding this? I'm holding this all the way back here. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to go over it like that and just kind of find it there. Find my skull shape. You can already see that. Yeah, it's cool too because you can see all kinds of shapes, like especially like eyes. You ever seen that when people look at a tortilla and they see like a face or something like that? The human eye is just always looking for faces. Always, always, always. You can see it in everything. You can even see it in cars. I mean, they have Cars the movie, right? But you're always looking for eyes and a nose. It's just kind of like always trying to identify that. So now that I have that scribble, right, with something I predetermined there, I'm gonna go maybe like right here, let it linger more in this area because I know there's a dark area over here, kind of a negative space under the mandible and kind of like where your cheek doesn't exist because it's bone, right? And then I'm going to go over here as well. I'm going to let it linger here a little bit more. And I can definitely pick it up and put it down. That's not like quite the rule, but you could do this without that as well, without picking it up. I'm just gonna let it linger here, right? I'm just gonna zigzag. And again, there's no rhyme or reason. You're just being really random. I'm not thinking. This is very stream of consciousness, what I'm doing right now. Very stream of consciousness. You can go back in here and try to even like think further into this, and in a way, it's funny because you're kind of refining stuff that's unable to be refined. So it's very, you know, very interesting to say the least. It's a very strange feeling. And I encourage everybody to do this, by the way. If you've never done this, try this. It's going to feel so strange if you've been like drawing for a good while. Traditionally, it's very, very weird. I guess if you've been doing a lot of like abstract stuff, it won't feel that weird. But for me, this is strange. So now we're getting to the point where I have to be careful because now I could break it. I could overdo it. It could be way too scribbly. So now I'm just trying to like, okay, now I'm stepping back and I'm not going to quite overdo it. But you can if you like. You can try to see how far you can take it until it just starts breaking. Because I think at one point it will just break. And it'll become a straight up mess. Where right now it's still like a readable thing. Where you're like, okay, cool. But anyways, that's kind of it, actually. It's relatively simple. I hope that it was easy for you. Please do me a huge favor and hit the like button if you like this. This is a little bit of a strange video, but if you did, let me know. Also, I'm going to end this video off by telling you, if you want to become a better artist and if you want to upgrade your skill in general, go check out my Skillshare. I'm going to put that link in the description. So basically what it is Skillshare is another platform. It is very similar to YouTube, except the difference is that they care a lot about quality. So for example, on YouTube, you can put stuff that's purely entertainment based. I'm going to still scribble around here. You can put stuff as can become completely entertainment, right? But on Skillshare, they're very, very concerned with quality of teaching and learning. And so if they don't like the program and they think it's just pure entertainment or something like that, they will delete it. They will delete their program that, you know, the teacher puts up, the course. And they're very strict on it, and I love that. I love that. So if you really, really want to level your game up, go check out my hands drawing course. I have actually a bunch of courses on there on anatomy, on you know, anime, on dragons, on monsters, on all this stuff. Tons of programs on there, but my highest rated and most popular is the How to Draw Hands course. That is the most popular one. Please go check that out if you do want to learn to draw hands. It's a very difficult topic. It's an entire course on several short videos for the beginner to be able to draw hands. So if you struggle with that, go check that out. Normally the website costs like, I forget, 30 or 40 a month or something like that. And it's like, oh, forget it. But the good news is you can see that program for free. You can see all of my programs for free because if you click the link in my description, it gives you a full month of Skillshare completely free. So go check that out if you are, and you know, all you have to do is like sign up, and then, you know, before it hits a month, just like turn it off and be like, okay, that's it, and they never charge you. But anyways, that's it. If you're cheap like me, I've done stuff like that. But thank you very much. I appreciate the watch. Please say hi to me in the comment section so I know who you are, and I will respond to every single comment.